Let's get back to our essay again. Overview of the essay, I feel actually. Very complete out overview of essay. Let's take a good look. First, we start with the Kedi. This essay dealt with to what extent do you agree or disagree? So when you have a topic that says to what extent do you agree or disagree, in this case, you have to give your opinion on an opinion. So the topic itself is an opinion, and you have to give your opinion on that particular opinion. In other words, you'll have to state whether you agree or disagree with a given statement. So the given statement clearly says that nuclear technology is beneficial, right? So either you can agree, you can disagree, or you could take a balanced view. Which one? So agree, disagree. So if you agree or if you disagree, all right, you support why you agree or disagree. Or if you do not want to do that, all right, you see there's positive as well as negative points, then you take a balanced view. That's called sitting on the fence. Now, यो दुईटा अप्रोचको लागि चाहिँ हाम्रो बडी प्याराग्राफको स्टाइल चाहिँ त्यही नै हो हैन बडी प्याराग्राफ 1 मा दुईटा एडभान्टेज लेख्यो भने बडी प्याराग्राफ 2 मा we write about the disadvantage. So body 1 and 2 is interchangeable, right? तिमीले बडी प्याराग्राफ 1 मा डिसएडभान्टेजबाट सुरु गर्यो भने बडी प्याराग्राफ 2 मा चाहिँ एडभान्टेज हुन्छ. So that's interchangeable. Anyway, यो दुईटा बडी प्याराग्राफमा चाहिँ we write opposites. Now, when you start the introduction, we paraphrase the topic. Ani, your thesis statement is where your opinion is. This is where you want to write your opinion very, very, very precisely. All right. So in your opinion, you'll have to write very precisely, whether you agree, whether you disagree, whether you want to sit on the fence, or like Trishla, whether you feel that nuclear power is good, nuclear weapons technology is bad. And so two opinions here clearly written. All right. Now, next we come to the body paragraph. In the body paragraph, what we do is we write two reasons in order to support your thesis, assuming that in the thesis, let's assume that you agree. So why you agree? You write two reasons why nuclear weapons technology is good. Then you write two opposite reasons why it's bad, why there are disadvantages. This is a better way to write. So when you come across an essay where you have to write your opinion or where the topic is discursive in nature, discuss both the views and give your own opinion. Remember, you do the essay, discuss both the views and give your own opinion. And the other one, to what extent do you agree or disagree? You do the essay, we always balance in the second paragraph with the opposite. Rather than this, we balance. Now, how do we write each paragraph? We write each paragraph in this way. Every point, each point. State the reason, explain the reason, support with example. If you point state another point, explain support. Here पनि flexibility छ. Suppose body paragraph 1 like this. Body paragraph 1 मा चाहिँ you just want to write one point. You have to write around 12 to 14 lines. But if you think you can write it with one point, so you state the reason, explain it, and support it with an example. The very general के हुन्छ भने कतिपय स्टुडेन्ट्सहरुलाई चाहिँ एउटा पोइन्ट लेख्दाखेरि चाहिँ धेरै सर्ट हुन जान्छ अनि उनीहरुले त्यो unnecessarily elaborate गर्नु पर्ने हुन्छ. त्यसकारण if you feel that one point is going to get very short, all right, you would like to include the second point, you can also include the second point. So first point firstly, when you state the point, explain and support, and then they the second point secondly, furthermore, and then explain it. Today body paragraph you've got 2 points. So state, explain, support. And when you support with examples. But as I said, regarding examples, rather than writing proof, okay, that's heavy stuff. I think you'll be happier writing a fact, which is a common truth, or a personal experience. It's an easy way to support it. All right. And body paragraph 2, again, they say state, explain, support, state, explain, support. But you see, that's our body paragraph. That's how we break up the essay into different paragraphs. So when you break up the essay into introduction, body one, body two, it's like a loaf of bread. You're cutting it in slices. Ultimately, if you're very hungry, you will of course finish up the entire loaf of bread. But then it will be much easier in this case. All right. Now, uh, now our essay is well organized because we've got a paragraph introduction, we've got two body paragraphs. That's coherence. Now, we still have to link them all together. So this is called cohesion. We use linking ideas. All right, so words to link this. So you could use these words to link the ideas. If you are linking similar ideas, your words for you. If you're looking different ideas, like body paragraph 2, different idea about it. So you could start with but, however, in contrast. On the other hand, contrary to, and so on. It's a complete word. Now we finally come to the conclusion. Okay, so let's discuss the conclusion. Have you written the conclusion? Sable leke go. Conclusion. Check that. The copy में है. अस्ति शायद लेखने तो सबै लेख्यो होला.
Thank you, sir.
So today I'm going to discuss the conclusion. How to end. Now there are two ways to conclude. Two ways, right? Listen to the two ways of concluding. The first one I'm going to discuss is about concluding when you choose a side and you're defending your position. Means introduction must suppose sir, I agree with the opinion that nuclear weapon technology is beneficial. I support. I agree. I disagree. So in this case, you're taking one side. You've chosen one side, either agreement or disagreement. So now you need to defend your position, why you agree or you. Your second, it's about writing a conclusion when you're writing a balanced essay. Okay? So first, let's discuss writing a conclusion when you take one side. Intro, the conclusion, introduction को जुन चाहिँ thesis statement छ thesis-मा I support, I strongly agree, I completely disagree भन्ने कुरालाई चाहिँ फेरि यहाँ मेरो conclusion भन्ने. So conclusion मा चाहिँ how you get started is you take both the views. When I say both, I mean which side you're taking and the opposite view. And I suppose you say I agree nuclear weapons technology, nuclear technology is beneficial, right? आफ्नो view भयो, opposite view पनि लेख्नु पर्यो. Now you start with the opposite view. So if you think nuclear technology is beneficial, you start with the opposite view. But you do not, I repeat, you do not criticize the opposite view. You always refute it. Check the word. The word is refute. So your words are refute. There's another word that's very close to refute. Okay? That's called repudiate. R-E-P-U-D-I-A-T-E. There are different given. Repudiate when you go, you simply say, "Oh, that's not true. That's not true." The Prime Minister repudiate allegations of corruption. So the Prime Minister simply said, "That's not true." Repudiate. Refute when you say, you are saying that's not true and I can prove it. That's not true and I can prove it. Right. So refute basically means to prove that it's not true. Okay, so I'm using the word refute. Now let's see. You're choosing one side. You're taking one side and then you're defending a position. Why? Nuclear weapons technology, or why you support it, why you start with the opposite view. But then, rather than criticizing the opposite view, you're trying to say this. Look at me. What you're trying to say is that, Vijay, look at me.
Okay.
Yeah. What you're trying to say is this. you're trying to say, yes, I do understand. That's what a background sound. Okay, what you're basically trying to say is this. I do understand that there are a few drawbacks. There are a few disadvantages of nuclear technology, but I think there are more advantages of nuclear technology. There are a few drawbacks, I agree, but there are more advantages of nuclear technology, and therefore I support it. That's called refuting. So you're not criticizing the opposite. You're actually saying, I agree that there are some negative points, right? But at the end, you're saying, though there are some negative points, I see there are more positive points. There are more merits to it. And therefore, I support it. When pros and cons when it go, pros when it go positive points, cons when it go negative points. There are about pros and cons. If you can't remember the word, you could simply write positive and negative points. So how do you get started? You start with the opposite view. And how do you start? You could say, in conclusion, I was just thinking, yeah, conclusion like that. To conclude in brief, in short, in summary, remember there's a comma after each of this. So you could say, now, suppose you imagine that I agree with the topic. So I'm going to write like this. In conclusion, although, okay, I'm starting with although, though, even though, something like that. Although there are a few disadvantages or drawbacks of nuclear weapons technology, comma, I still feel that the benefits of nuclear technology far outweigh the disadvantages. And hence, I agree that nuclear technology is beneficial. But you see, conclusion, I'm looking for it. 4 or 5 lines, when you put them, they were the comments. Maybe it comes to around 2 or 3 lines. Let me repeat again in a different way. In conclusion, all the nuclear technology has its drawbacks, comma. I still believe that there are more advantages than disadvantages to nuclear technology. Hence, I strongly agree with the given statement or the given topic. Simple. Sajid. Now, what do you have to write in such a simple way? You could have, if you want to, you can write a better conclusion. But remember, in the exams, by the time you come to the concluding paragraph, you'll have less time. I know. So, what a brilliant conclusion. Khali would a simple conclusion just to tie up the lines. So you want to make sure that, conclusion ma angel sama, you have very less time. You want to make sure that you should keep aside around 3 minutes to check ASA. So, with a short conclusion, go ahead. Any question? Sable bujhe you?
Sir, duita side ko likhne bela matri ko likhne.
I'll come to that. How about this? You clear, boy? Okay, so we don't criticize the opposite. Ela feri mo orke oda simple way may explain go say. Orke simple way. Yay, choosing one side. Koche feri let's discuss it. I'll take a very simple topic, TOEFL topic. Are you aware that TOEFL topics are much simpler than IELTS topics? TOEFL ko junjo jene topics, they're simpler than IELTS topic. TOEFL topic ma jaile pani. In TOEFL, unlike IELTS where there are 5 kinds of essay, TOEFL ma chay, the question only says, do you agree or disagree? Don't the question matter. So students actually do much better in TOEFL writing than in IELTS writing. So there are a lot of misconceptions. People think that IELTS is easy than TOEFL. That's very wrong. Actually, scoring scoring well in TOEFL is much more possible than in the IELTS. Now let's take a TOEFL topic. Discuss this. Right? Think of this TOEFL topic, right? This is the official TOEFL topic. Some people prefer to cook and eat at home. Others prefer to eat out at restaurants. Which do you prefer? That's a different topic. Now it's about a preference. And it's about choosing a side, one side. So do you prefer cooking and eating at home? Do you prefer eating outside a restaurant? Which is very similar to your opinion. All right. So yeah, say suppose I've written I prefer cooking and eating at home. My conclusion ma ke garchu mani yanir duita view lecture. Okay, I'm not saying that because I prefer cooking and eating at home, eating out at restaurant is bad. No. When I write body one and two, I'm going to say cooking and eating at a home is good because firstly, it's hygienic and nutritious. Secondly, it's cheaper. However, a body paragraph to my opposite view, like Sundaina, I would say cooking, eating out a restaurant is still good because it saves time and it offers us variety. So that's still some advantage, especially when there's no one to cook at home and you do not have time to prepare your meals, especially when you're preparing for an exam, right? And I think the best option is to eat out at a restaurant, saves time. But there's advantage. Our conclusion, Maharaj, goes to I prefer cooking and eating at home. So I'll start with the opposite view. And I'll write, in conclusion, although there are certain advantages of eating out at restaurants, such as saving time and you know of getting variety, I still prefer cooking and eating at home because for me, long-term economy and nutrition and hygiene, which is very much related to health, is more important. But the end matter, right? So basically, you're trying to say eating out a restaurant is good, but cooking and eating at home is better. The nuclear weapons good technology, there are certain disadvantages of nuclear technology, sorry. But because I see there are more benefits, the benefits far outweigh the disadvantages. And hence, I agree with the given topic. All right. Now, when you're writing a balanced essay, let's say you're sitting on the fence, you're not taking either side. Abo body paragraph ko stall the table, body paragraph 1 ma duita point leke body paragraph 2 ma त्यसको ठ्याक्क opposite point leke everything remains the same. खाली यहाँ फरक चाहिँ के पर्यो भने thesis statement, introduction को thesis ma you're not taking either side. The conclusion ma चाहिँ you're not taking either side. You would simply summarize. You write a summary of both the views. Summary means some of the main points. So your conclusion will be something like nuclear weapons technology, nuclear technology is a mixed bag, right? It's a mixed bag of, it's a mixed bag because we see that there are plenty of advantages and tell elaborate going to such as generating clean and cheap electricity. And electricity is the power that runs everything, that runs our modern life. And plus, nuclear weapons technology somehow maintains an uneasy world peace. However, there are again certain disadvantages because an accident, both in nuclear generation or nuclear weapons, can occur anytime, and that could mean the end of a civilization. All right, so in this case, what you're basically doing is you're not taking either side. You're saying it's a mixed bag, it's got its bouquets and it's got its brickbats. I'm a bouquets, like it's a bouquet of flower. And brickbats when I go, dunga mura. And dunga mura bhayiraheko छ flower पनि दिइरहेको छ. So it's a mixed bag. So when you write a summary, you'll have to summarize both the views without again taking either side. Whereas in this case, you have to prove that the opposite view is not as good as yours. And there are proof in a short. Any question?
Sir, मलाई त्यो paragraph body 1 र 2 को एकचोटि repeat गरिदिनुस् न.
Okay, quickly, Okay, more, I thought I'll be discussing another essay. Just don't football team पहिला भन तिमीले के लेखेको छ इन्ट्रोडक्सनमा कुन चाहिँ साइड लेखेको छ
agree नै हो sir.
You agree? All right. So besides football अरुको थिएन हिजोको एब्सेन्ट चाहिँ विभुत छ. How about you?
Sir, agree.
You agree that nuclear technology is beneficial. Okay. Ani who else wasn't there? Yuvraj. Yuvraj, you disagree. So Yuvraj disagrees. Vivitsa and Furpa, you agree. Right. Now let's see what we do in the introduction. In the body paragraph. In the body paragraph, this is what we do. We have plan A, plan B, but let's forget plan B. I'm going to eliminate this right away. Let's focus on plan A. So what's plan A? In plan A, what we do is we write two body paragraphs. Do the body paragraph. Say, so you've got body paragraph 1 and body paragraph 2. Now let's say Furpa and Vivutsa agrees that nuclear technology, sorry, your weapons is a covered eye. Nuclear technology is beneficial, right? So Furpa and Vivutsa are going to write two reasons in one paragraph to support your opinion, why you agree. So you're going to write in body paragraph 1, you're going to write two reasons why nuclear technology is beneficial. Okay? Because Yuvraj has disagreed, you could write two reasons why nuclear technology is disadvantageous, why it consists of disadvantage. So you write two reasons, right? So you start with your thesis opinion. Ani, next body paragraph, let's say, Furpa and Vivutsa, you're going to write two opposite reasons. Here, you two girls are going to write in the next body paragraph some of the disadvantages of nuclear technology. Now your essay is well balanced because your essay in one body paragraph, you've written about the advantages. In next body paragraph, you've also written about the disadvantages. So this is called writing a balanced essay. In your case, Yuvraj, because you have started with a disadvantage, body paragraph 2 months, you'll write about the advantage, two advantages. Either way, whether you agree or disagree, or whether you take a balanced view, sitting on the fence, you have to write two opposite views. Okay, body paragraph 1 ko, body paragraph 2 months, opposite views. And this balancing is very important. Any question?
No.
Okay. Okay. Vivutsa, clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yuvraj, bujhe conclusion छोड दौ न अहिले बडी प्याराग्राफमा आउँदैछ हामी बडीमा आउँदाखेरि चाहिँ तिमीले डिसएग्री गर्यौ भने you have to give two reasons why you disagree. Body 1. Why you disagree is because you think nuclear weapons has got a lot of disadvantages. So you could write about nuclear disasters that happened in Fukushima or long term back in Chernobyl, right? So even nuclear power core, that could be a disaster. And in terms of nuclear waste, nuclear power core waste, it produces clean energy, but then the nuclear waste, that's still very radioactive. Tell a dispose it's a huge problem. So we're going to throw it. So a lot of nuclear power plants, like Kegosin, they put the nuclear waste in huge airtight lead containers and they bury it in the sea or in the ground, very deep. So it's going to be radioactive. So nuclear waste, your nuclear weapons, so you're going to write two disadvantages. The body paragraph 2 much, you're going to write about two advantages of nuclear technology. So for example, nuclear power produces cheap and clean energy. Nuclear weapons help to keep the peace. Now your essay is balanced. Iti bujhe Yuvraj. Iti now. Your body paragraph, each body paragraph. This is how you write. So each body paragraph now, let's say you're starting with body paragraph 1. Right? And body paragraph 1 might say, let's assume you're writing about the advantage. So, and you're writing about nuclear power. So you would say, firstly, nuclear power produces cheap and clean energy. So your word, topic sentence. First sentence, word, topic sentence. Keep it short, eh? Topic sentence, just short like that. So first of all, to start off, firstly, you write, nuclear power produces cheap and clean energy. Short sentence. But you examine artist examine body that. Oh, so the writer, the candidate, the student is going to write about cheap and clean energy. And then the student is going to explain how nuclear power produces cheap and clean energy. Explanation. So reason liquefaction, that the important thing is the explanation. So now you need to explain how nuclear power produces cheap and clean energy. So you'll have to explain something like, unlike fossil fuels, like the burning of oil and especially coal for the production of electricity, right? Such thermal plants produce a lot of toxic fumes that can affect the environment and the surrounding places. Plus, burning fossil fuels to generate electricity turns out to be very expensive. So at the end, the consumers pay more for the electricity bill. So unlike this, the nuclear power plant, though a little difficult initially to establish, but once it's established and once it's up and running, it produces absolutely clean clean electricity and without any waste material. Explain. Now you think, your explanation, let's say, support going to put an example level. So you can give these 3 kinds of example. Evidence, once you need to provide proof. So you're getting heavy duty, so let's forget it. So what you can do is, you can talk about a common truth that you know, or you can write from a personal experience. I'll just say, support your answer, support your reasons with knowledge from with reasons from our own knowledge and experience. So that's the instruction. Support your reasons with your reasons from your own knowledge or personal experience. You can always think of this. Okay, from your own knowledge, my evidence or the so think of a common fact or a personal experience. So you could write something like, a lot of European countries, especially France, generates most of its electricity from nuclear power, and it's one of the leading designers and producers of nuclear reactors. And therefore, France enjoys surplus electricity, which it exports to neighboring European countries also. So, the example. फेरि अर्को पोइन्ट लेख्नु पर्दाखेरि हैन एउटा बडी प्याराग्राफमा सपोज यु कुड राइट वन रिजन इफ यु वान्ट टु राइट द सेकेन्ड रिजन किनभने यस्तो हुन्छ है बडी प्याराग्राफमा चाहिँ लुक एट दिस मैले के लेखेको छु one or two reasons you could either write one or two reasons यहाँ पनि फ्लेक्सिबिलिटी छ दुईटा रिजन लेख्नै पर्छ भन्ने छ अब एउटा रिजन मजाले एक्सप्लेन गरे भने लेट्स से 12 to 14 लाइन्स लेख्नु पर्ने हुन्छ 12 to 14 लाइन्स सम्म लेख्नु पर्यो भइहाल्यो त कति के हुन्छ भने स्टुडेन्ट्सहरुलाई 12 to 14 लाइन्स पुग्दैन के शर्ट हुन्छ अब शर्ट हुँदाखेरि के एसे शर्ट हुन सक्छ एसे त 250 वर्ड्स भन्दा कम हुन सक्छ सो इन सच अ केस के गर्नु पर्यो भने you'll have to write a second reason rather than one reason एउटा body paragraph मा चाहिँ you could write two reasons one two reasons so second reason you could write secondly nuclear weapons maintains world peace now explain what though it's very ironic but it's true that the danger of a country using nuclear weapons prevents the other country from using nuclear weapons. So I personally believe that countries are never ever going to use nuclear weapons unless they can only use it unless if it falls into the hands of terrorists or some mad dictator. होइन अब यसलाई एक्सप्लेन गर्नु पर्यो भने यु कुड फर्दर एक्सप्लेन इट इफ यु वान्ट सपोर्ट इट सो एक्जाम्पल पनि दिनु पर्यो सो वाट यु बेसिकली डुइङ इज यु राइटिङ अ रिजन यो रिजनलाई चाहिँ एक्सप्लेन गर्ने यो रिजनलाई सपोर्ट गर्ने सो एउटा रिजनलाई चाहिँ हामीले explain and support this. So all these words will support the same reason and explanation. So that's the way it goes. You are हाम्रो detail, nitty gritty. हामीले ये लेख्दै चाहिँ either we write one or two reasons, each in body one, body two. Opposite views. Any question? Football, बुझ्यो?
हजुर सर
Vibhut sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and Yuvraj? Okay. Right. अब बुझ्नु र लेख्नुमा फरक छ हैन त विजय बुझ्नु र लेख्नुमा फरक छ So it's time to write. यस्तो हुन्छ सी एक्चुअली बुझ्नु पहिला अब लेख्नु अगाडि आफूले बुझे त एकदमै राम्रो होइन So it's very good to understand it clearly. But then अब लेख्दाखेरि we don't know how we write. Right? I've told you earlier, let me repeat again. आफूले इङ्ग्लिस लेख्न आफ्नो अङ्ग्रेजी त राम्रो लाग्छ आफूलाई राम्रो लाग्छ But you don't know what kind of errors you're making. Errors may be sentence structure ma ho ki, grammar ma ho ki, arrangement ma ho ki, information ko. Yeah? Khali त्यो English ko grammar ma त errors हुँदैन. Errors can happen in so many areas. So that's why it's very important that you write. So once you write, it's easier. Once you write and I listen to it and I give you suggestions, you can always improve. The lekhna bhane, you will not get suggestions and there'll be no improvement. Right? Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is hang on there. Kuny एउटा essay हेरौँ है यो भयो nuclear weapons को हाम्रो एउटा essay it's Cambridge 8 So I think for the three of you, Vibhut sir, Yuvraj and Footpa, you'll be writing the body, paragraph, and the conclusion. For the others, like, and even Vijay, you haven't written it. For others, like Shamila and Jangmu and Trishla, you'll be writing the conclusion, you know? So besides the conclusion, let's see if I can find any other interesting topics for you. Discuss both the views, so it's like that, no problem. Yo, boy. Here you are. Please note this topic. Everybody, take this down. Jangmu ke git sunde cha kya?
No sir
एकैछिन है. Where are you? La. Note this. यो अर्को topic. Okay, are you done? Now let's check this topic. Here is the topic. Okay, so this is where you have the main topic. And there are two tasks here. We have two questions. Okay. So this essay is, it doesn't come under. So I've already told you there are two kinds of essays. There's one essay group. We have grouped 5 essays under 2 convenient groups. In one group, we're placed a discursive essay and opinion essay. Okay, discuss both the views and give your opinion. To what extent do you agree or disagree? So that's one group. All right. In that group, we have already discussed the essay that we should be writing. So when you have a discursive or when you have an argumentative essay where you have to give your opinion, you always balance in the second body paragraph. Right. Now let's take a look at this essay. This essay falls under the other group called descriptive or account group. All right. So this is a double question essay. Now your topics are here. Nowadays, we're talking about the present moment. The way many people interact with each other has changed because of technology. The way people interact with each other. Mean topic underline examination. So it's about nowadays. The way people interact with each other has changed. Why? Because of, most importantly, because of technology. So Yaniro statements. So the question does not say, do you agree or disagree? So this is not an opinion. All right. Opinion, Mache, you can always attack it. You can always attack it by saying, I don't agree with this opinion. Right. So this is not an opinion. This is basically a fact. There's a fact that's been given. So there's no question of agreeing or disagreeing. So it's a fact that the way we interact with each other has changed because of technology. Now, the next one is, in what ways has technology affected the types of relationship people make? So, manche relationship, okay? Whether it's a personal relationship or whether it's professional relationship between friends, between colleagues, between spouses. Okay, how is technology affected? So you'll have to make a list. Plan make a list of this. Okay. So you'll have to write ways technology has affected relationship, positive, negative. So the effect of technology on relationship can both be positive, it can be negative. You know? So you'll have to make a list around 2-3 reasons in a positive and negative way. Ani, finally, 2 points layer, a positive and negative layer. So final question, sir. Has this become a positive or negative development? Has this means the effect of technology on relationship? Okay, the kind of relationship that people make. Is that positive or negative? Last month you open question answer. So check this. Topic, task. Okay, let's give it different colors. Topic. Basically, if you simplify, we always go to simplify the topic. So it's about people's interaction with each other. People interacting with each other. Basically means the same as relationship people make. So this basically means the same as this. Jalim simplify the right topic like. So it means the same. So if you simplify the topic, it's how has technology affected the way we make a relationship with people, the way we build a relationship with people, how has it affected? So that can be positive, that can be negative effect. You know? And at the end, you'll also have to write whether it's been positive or a negative effect. Okay. 11 बजिसक्यो ल छिटो. Any questions? कसो के भन्नु छ यसमा?
Sir, यति हामीले अस्ति अग्री र डिसएग्रीमा चाहिँ आई स्ट्रङली अग्री भन्छ नि यसमा चाहिँ कसरी लेखिन्छ?
हो कुरा त्यो एउटा अब त्यो एसे हैन we are not discussing about argument त्यो भयो argument एसे opinion एसे अनि अर्को भयो discursive.
Okay.
Okay यो हाम्रो अर्को ग्रुपको एसे हो descriptive. यसमा चाहिँ when you write the introduction you'll have to take everything into consideration. First हामीले के गर्नु पर्यो introduction मा you know it हामीले पहिलो चाहिँ paraphrase गर्नु पर्यो topic लाई. So your topic लाई हामीले paraphrase गरेर लेख्नु पर्यो हैन. So you could say something like, well, it's true and it's well, or someone says it's well acknowledged that the technology nowadays has very much affected us and it has certainly affected our relationship. You can take the topic and link it with life. Technology by main topic, relationship, and link it with life itself. And as you could say, our lives are getting increasingly complex because of evolving technologies. And it's equally true that these technologies have affected how we interact with other people. You buy the topic. All right. So, reason list. You could say that there are numerous ways, both positive and negative, ways in which technology has affected the way we build relationship with people. Paraphrase and the last much you thesis statement. Your thesis, let's call this the thesis statement. Okay, your thesis much you'll have to be very clear whether that's been a positive or negative effect. So you could say, all in all, though there are a lot of negative developments as well, all in all, I personally feel that technology has positively affected the way we build our relationship. So what I'm cover. So main topic la I'm use main topic la I'm paraphrase going. Ani you paraphrase गरेर लेखिसकेपछि यो जुन चाहिँ हाम्रो छ यो हाम्रो thesis statement मा चाहिँ you will have to write whether it's been positive or a negative development, whether technology affects our lives positively or negatively. So there are Korea include गर्ने पनि हुन्छ. अरु question?
So later we need to do that essay.
Okay, hang on there. Before I answer that question, next if a body paragraph ma ke lekhcha कुरा आयो हैन. Body paragraph 1 मा चाहिँ यो लेख्ने. How technology affects relationship people make. किन दुईटा question छ नि त यहाँ, दुईटा छ हैन. So relationship could be both positive and negative. So yeah, maybe someone wants to write both duita positive effects. Maybe someone wants to write duita negative effects. All right. Maybe you would like to write one positive and one negative effect of technology. Body one. And the body two much, you could write whether it's been a positive or a negative development. Body two. If it's positive, why? Reasons with one or two reasons. If it's negative, why? With another one or two reasons. Conclusion ma त्यसलाई summarize गर्ने. Either two, your orco way that you could write here is you could write let's say body paragraph 1 ma चाहिँ you could write about how technology has affected relationships people make, right? Both in a you could write both positive and negative relationship. Ani a body paragraph 2 ma चाहिँ you could write let's say body paragraph 1 ma you could write about positive effects of technology, body paragraph 2 ma positive effects of technology, negative effects of technology in building relationship. Ani यो positive र negative जुन चाहिँ development छ नि यो चाहिँ हामीले conclusion मा लेख्न सकिन्छ फेरि, either that. So there's a whole lot of flexibility. So remember, ALTIS SMA, there's nothing like ALTIS people, they never say you'll have to write it exactly this way. There are different ways of writing this. So I leave it to you. Maybe body paragraph 1, as I said, 1 positive effect, 1 negative effect. Body paragraph 2, whether it's been a positive or negative development, conclusion, you summarize. Orko way, body paragraph 1, you write about positive effects of technology. Body paragraph 2, negative effects of technology. Conclusion, whether it's been positive or negative, invalid. But it's kind of similar to the other one. We don't have to refute the opposite view. If you were to take one side, you will have to refute the opposite view. So there's no need to refute the opposite view. Any question? Question? Let me ask you individually. Jangmu?
So like if we have to mention some experience of our life, then this is full body paragraph mention Bunny.
Oh, you can write it anyway. You can write here, especially your body paragraph. Huh?
Okay, sir.
You're writing both positive and negative points in it. So I'm not just experience body paragraph. Intro conclusion. All right. What is up, Tixer? Football? You bujhe? You're not like a football. So what I want you to do is, I want you to write the previous essay. Football, Bibutsa, to the previous essay go to introduction to Lake Saunita.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you will write the previous essay about nuclear technology. And the same with Yuvraj. You're also going to write the previous essay. Okay. As for Janmu, Trishla, Sharmila, and Vijay, you are going to write this essay, plus you will also finish the previous essay by writing the conclusion. Conclusion will hardly take you 5 minutes. Okay, you finish that essay, and then your home assignment is to write this essay. Trishla, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Sharmila, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
So
Sharmila.
you भोलि को लागि हो?
Yes, आज बेलुकीसम्म सबमिट गर्ने, भोलिको लागि हैन। आज सबमिट गर्ने।
आज हामी इमेलमा सबमिट गर्ने हो।
Exactly. आज मेल गर्ने यो essay. So यो essay चाहिँ को लेख्ने भने Sharmila, Trishla and Jangmu.
Yes, sir.
तिम्रो 3 जनालाई चाहिँ यो essay लेखेर आज मेल गर्ने।
सर कन्क्लुजन चाहिँ अहिले भन्ने कि भरे पठाउने?
कन्फ्युजन माने
अगाडिको कन्क्लुजन।
कन्क्लुजनको नो प्रब्लम, त्यो त अर्को एसे भयो नि त, त्यसको पठाउनु परेन। त्यो पुरानो एसेको तिमीहरूले पठाउनु परेन, खालि त्यो लेखेर कम्प्लिट मात्र गर्ने, किनभने त्यो एसे मैले सुनिसकेको छु तिमीहरूको, हैन? यो एसे चाहिँ मलाई पढ्नु पर्यो नि त, सुनेर मात्र भएन, आई हैव टु रिड इट, राइट? सो तिमीहरूले पहिला लेख, मजाले एउटा क्लियर फोटोग्राफ खिच, अनि त्यो फोटो चाहिँ मलाई पठाऊ। ओके, जस्ट द फोटोग्राफ, फोटो पठाऊ। And then if you, some people, तिमीहरूलाई कहिले उयो युज गरेको छ क्याम स्क्यानर, यो सिम्पल स्क्यानर, एक्जामको बेला युज गरेको होला? Anybody? Simple scanner?
Yes, sir.
If you have used simple scanner, जसले युज गरेको छ या क्याम स्क्यानर, if you know how to convert it into the PDF, okay, you can send me the PDF. If you cannot, just send me the photograph. Right? But I want a clear photograph or a PDF, either or. So, any question? बुझ्यो? अनि विभुत्सा फुटबल र युवराजले चाहिँ त्यो जुन चाहिँ पुरानो एसे छ अब न्युक्लियर टेक्नोलोजी त्यही गर्ने है त? Any question? भयो हैन? Yeah, Vijay also. That includes you, Vijay. You're going to write the old essay. One, two, Sharmila, three, Jimmy, four, Bukit, five, Bukit, six, Vijay, Panichai. All right, so we'll end it here. All right, so take care till we meet tomorrow. And please make sure that you send me the essay at least by 6 o'clock. A delay. Some students have been sending me the essay, almost around midnight. See, I need to get sleep. I'm the robot. I'm human. After 6, I need to relax also. So please make sure you don't do that. Okay, so till then, take care. And Jajukoto, Hatar Dukira, so you better take care. Johnson and Johnson, it's going to be okay. He's a more Dukira, I'm fine today. So it's going to be fine.